Well, boys, I PR'd whole last 2 days and 3 hours in a relationship, huh? It was, it was, it was. The past 2 days were the two most absurd days of my life. So, if you watch my last video, you know that a girl confessed her attraction to me, and I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool, pretty based, and then after that, oh god, after that, I go home, I text her what yada 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 whatever, and then so I'm talking with her, and then I learned that she has a few exes, and then that one of those exes is one of my closest friends, which is if that happens to you, it's just like shit. Well, what do I do now, right? Like, and the funniest part about that, I didn't even know my friend had ever had a girlfriend. Like, I never even learned that this ever happened. I'm just like, brother, what, are you more secretive than me? This is actually crazy. It's actually just freaking wild. So then I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, like, this is fine. I mean, he's the bro code, right? If somebody's getting game, you respect it, right? Like, even if it's your ex, like, brother, it's huge. And so it goes on, and then and then yesterday I was skipping school. My God-given right is to skip school, of course. And I have pretty free time on my phone, so I can text people to do whatever. And this girl, she's at school, and she's like literally like texting me every 3 minutes. I'm just like, brother, I can't. How? Like, I don't understand how, like, these people are. Like, I don't want to go on an insult right now, but like, it's actually just impressive, right? Like, how, like, these people can, like, respond in, like, at such a time. Like, normally I need like 2 to 3 business days to get back to somebody, because I see them messaging me, I'm like, oh man, I have to open my phone. I hate going on my phone, because like, I'm to be honest not a big fan of texting. Like, texting is just so, it feels so, like, not real. I don't want to say fake, but it's always just like, it's always like kind of filtered, and you're just like, do they really mean that, or are they just saying that because they had 30 hours to think it over? Like, I prefer the real life conversation. I get to speak how I want, and it works out. It works out, and it's a lot funner because you get a lot more outlandish shit when somebody isn't texting, and you get to see a little bit more of their personality. Anyways, so she's texting me and everything, and I'm just like, brother, I can't anymore. Can we just call? And she was like, okay. And guess what we did? That's right. You're a smart person. We called, and during this, like, I learned that she was into psychology, and I was like, oh my god, psychology. I dabble. I know a thing or two. I read a tome or two, and I'm like, okay, so do you read anything? Like, I read. I have a good friend. She, we talk about Sigmund Freud. Whole psychology of the mind. How humans are very inept at knowing what they want and stuff. And then she just didn't want to talk about it, and I was like, brother, what? what do you mean? This is your deal. And then I was like, okay, if you don't want to talk, I'm just gonna explain my view. And I was like, psychologists, they kind of scare me, right? Like, because like, I always view them as very potentially manipulating, especially me, and like, I'm generally wary of people. Now, I wasn't too wary of her because I know the trick psychologists employ, to make you release the kindness chemicals in your brain, and she wasn't employing too many of those tricks. I wasn't scared of her per se, but she was a psychology girl. So I was like, psychology people always scared me. Just be able to make me feel good, and like, I'm always scared that one day one person will manipulate me. And she's like, no, psychologists wouldn't do that. They're too good people. And I'm just like, no. I like, and then I made some references to like Bond villains and stuff, and eventually she just got like super unhappy and just hung up on me. And apparently that was her breaking up with me. So this girl confessed her attraction to me 2 days ago. I argued my point that psychologists are very scary people. People that can, do a few things, like, salesmen. I made that point as well. And then she was very unhappy with me, and hung up on me, and I was just like, okay. And then like then of course, like that naturally, I just called up my best friend who dated her, dated her like 2 months ago or not even 2 months, 5 months ago, and I was like, brother. Brother, I just had the most hilarious interaction, bro. Like, cause like I mean that's a natural thing. I was just like I was just in part and utter disbelief just how fast it all went, right? Cause like I thought I like what most of what I know, talking about the other person's interest is how you make people happy. If somebody goes up to me and starts talking to me about Forza, I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm actually really good at that. You have to do the turbine setup like this, get some back lean right there to lead off that strut. Get the metal going like this, not energy stall, not metal stall. Flotation is bad. And then she just seemed I think what happened is that she thought I just straight up knew more than her. I think what happened is I knew more psychology and more about her subject than she did. Because like I went full out. I was like, well, regarding like philosophical takes, like I myself have delved into some psychology books just to learn similar tricks and see what the whole deal is and to recognize the potential manipulation, and I employ those tactics occasionally in my real life. And like, cause like there's no stronger example than yourself, right? Like, right? If somebody makes an absolute statement like all psychologists are good, you just easy counter argument, just destroy it by saying, actually, I am a psychologist and you're silly. And then, the argument is destroyed. It's gone, been sent to the next realm, practically beyond the grave. And I think what happened is, like, because, like, she wasn't too much of an intellectual, go figure. But I wasn't expecting, like, her to get so frustrated. I don't know, because like, I don't know. I'll be straight with you. I don't know. I don't know what was happening. I don't know why this happened. I mean, my friend was talking about it. It was like, yeah, she was just, I think, me and my friend were discussing it. He was like, yeah, I think you were not submissive enough. Because apparently what my friend did, he just kind of just went along with whatever she said. And I think the problem here is that I voiced my opinion. And because my friend lasted 2 months. Oh, nice. My friend lasted a whole ass 2 months with her. And so that means like, I must have been doing something wrong. This is clearly a me problem. And from what I understood is that she kind of just dominated the relationship. And I think what happened is that I spoke back a little bit too much. I should have just agreed with everything she said. And she had some very like strong beliefs that she wasn't really like too willing to compromise on, which is like completely fine, right? If you're not willing to compromise on your beliefs, that is completely your choice. And strong beliefs also help, like stability in life and everything. But like, she would just have strong beliefs about like everything. Like, this religion people kind of suck. This girl is a bitch, and I'm just like, holy oh, am I not gonna get this? Oh shit. Rip teammate. Oh no, he's a shield. And I'm like, after a while, I was just like, holy shit, what? Like, cause like she was like, are you this political ideology? I was like, not really. And she's like, good. I would never even like speak to somebody of that political ideology. I was like, okay. Are you this religion? Good. Because I hate people from those. I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then, and then of course, we had the dance show today, and she hung up on me. I didn't even know like it was over when she hung up on me. I was just like, am I gonna get this? Yeah, I am. I didn't even like know that like it was over when she hung up on me. Like I have no idea when something's over or not. Like sometimes I just like there was one guy I thought I was never gonna like talk to again. I thought he really hated me, and then I just talked to him one day and he was perfectly fine. So like I don't know. It's always just like probe the pool. So I did. I said, hey, are you doing okay? You kind of hung up on me, and she's like, don't talk to me. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I hurt you that much. So like I never like intentionally did anything to try to hurt her or anything, or break her mental spirit or anything. I just kind of just talked about my opinions about psychology and why psychologists, in my opinion, are scary and why they freak me out. And she wasn't running for that. That was, but it almost makes me appreciate life as a a bachelor, as a person who enjoys himself, because like, man, that was stressful. Like, having to respond to your phone every like 3 minutes, and having to just, oh, I don't know. Maybe I just had a bad experience. I imagine that so, because like I can't imagine that every relationship is like that. Because if it is, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be in a relationship again. Because that shit was stressful, man. Like now that like I was almost in a point of ecstasy when the I'll get the replay going because I have some stuff to talk about. I was almost at a point of ecstasy when the relationship was over. I was just like, there's no way that this just lasted 2 months, right? I was, I were not 2 months, 2 days. I was like, there's no way this girl confessed that she liked me, and within 2 days, 180 and decides that I am below trash, right? And I don't even know exactly what I did. I don't know. Uh, However, I have never had like I have not called when my friend that dated her for 2 months. I had not called him like for in an actual like call for like a long time, really. And like after that, brother, we were shooting the shit for so hard. He was just like yeah, that sounds about right. Cause like in his relationship, he broke up with her, because well oh, embarrassing shot right there. Because she was a little bit too controlling, apparently, which I'm just like, yeah, that checks out, you know. But we have never been closer. Like the amount of laughs we had, we were just like, or I was just confused, and he was like, yeah, I didn't know what's going on either. I mean, so, you know what, you know what they say, common struggles bring people together, and man, this was a common fucking struggle. Like, I have never had such a weird interaction in my life because back when I lived in Germany, like my entire friend group was I was friends with 4 girls and 1 guy, right? And I thought I understood like at least somewhat of what's going on. And then I have this where I'm just like I am completely caught out of water because like most of the time I don't even know what I'm doing. But especially here I was just like I especially don't know. I was mostly just in complete disbelief by the order of events and what was happening. Like it was honestly just, but it was honestly it was an experience that is easy to laugh at, right? It was 2 days. Like, I'm not exactly emotionally distraught. She seemed a lot more emotionally affected than me, which I was surprised by, because I was like she seemed legitimately like angry. I mean, but maybe I shouldn't have said that psychologists scare me. Maybe she was projecting that onto herself. Maybe she was manipulating other people with her psychological knowledge, and I was calling her out, and it hit too close to home, and she was like, nah, this guy's gonna figure me out, and then decided it was no more. Anyways, I needed events. It is, what time is it? 11 at the time of recording. I also have to edit this. I hope you enjoyed. I will probably be uploading tomorrow. A girl somehow got the gossip of me breaking up with this girl 6 hours ago and already texted me and wants to meet up with me tomorrow to talk about it, which is just insane. It's been 6 hours. Like, what is there a centralized database for this shit? Like, I am honestly just shocked. Like, about how fast things move when, like, things, like, because normally, like, nobody even bothers texting me ever. Like, I receive, like, if it's some rando, I just receive 1 text per, like, month or something. But now, like, my entire phone's, like, blowing up, and I'm just like, shit, man. Okay. Well, I should really stop recording. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Maybe I'll catch you the next one. See ya.